Hey guys, happy Monday. I hope you guys had a great weekend and are ready to get back to work. So Thursday we started on dividing fractions and I had you guys go over the vocabulary with the vocabulary activity. So I hope you did that because it's a good reminder on the strategies but also the vocabulary words. So today we are continuing with dividing fractions. And if you think about on that video or you think about, what we've done in class, we know that there is something that we always say with dividing of fractions. So I want you to think about that for a second. What strategy do we use for division of fractions? So if you said keep, change, flip, then you are absolutely correct. That is what we always say for division of fractions. That is the strategy. So we're going to go ahead and go over a few questions from the boom cards just to kind of get you guys remembering division of fractions and to get you guys used to it so that you guys can go and do it on your own. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go to the boom cards. So looking at the boom cards, well, after, at the end of the Nearpod, you will be redirected to the boom card website. You will log in with your DVISD Google account and you will make sure that you click all that you need to click on in order to log in. After you've logged in, you will eventually get to this boom card page. This basically just gives you the directions for the boom cards. It's a little different than what I would have explained it as, but it still gives you the directions. So let's just go over it real quick. So divide fractions. So how to divide a fraction. It says to invert the divisor, which is the second number, then multiply the numerators, then multiply the denominators. So step 1 in this deck, remove the second number and the dividing sign or division sign and drag the multiplication sign to create a fraction to multiply. Step number 2, multiply and type the answer. So you might be thinking, okay, well, those are the directions, but I really don't understand still. So that's why I'm going over some of the questions. So let's go ahead and go to the next question. So this is the first question in our boom card set. So looking at it, it says 1/4 divided by 8. So that's like saying there is 1/4 of a pizza and you are dividing that 1/4 into 8 more pieces. So let's go ahead and look at it. So if you look at the boom card, there actually is an option for you to drag items, and that's in this corner right here. So you can actually drag some items, and I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So think about the strategy. What do we have to do? Okay, you said keep, change, flip. You're right, get in there. Okay, keep, change, flip. So let's look at the first step, keep. What does that mean whenever you are dividing? So keep means that you keep this first fraction the same. Don't change it, nothing. You leave it the way it is. 1/4 stays 1/4. Change. So what do I do there? I change the division sign to a multiplication sign. So I can actually move the division sign and move the multiplication sign in its place. So now I've changed it to a multiplication. Then flip. Well, there's nothing for me to flip. It's a whole number. Okay, well, let's think about it. So what do we need to do to change the 8 to a fraction so that we can flip it? Okay, if you said to put a 1 in the denominator, you are right. So we would have to put a 1 in the denominator, so it gives you the option to make a fraction, which is pretty cool. So you have 8 over 1. So that means that it's still 8, it's just now a fraction. Now, we still haven't flipped it. So remember, that is the reciprocal. Finding the reciprocal means basically just flipping the denominator and the numerator. So I'm going to flip the 8 and the 1 so that the 1 is on the top and the 8 is on the bottom. Okay? Then all I need to do is multiply across. So 1 times 1 is 1. 4 times 8 is what? what is it, guys? It is 32. So 1 over 32. Oh. So let's see if that is right, and that is correct. So I just realized that I don't think it went to the very, very first one. So I want to go back to the very, very first one. So looking at this one, you have 2/5 divided by 7. So 2/5 divided by 7. What is the first step? The first step is to keep. So we keep the 2 and the 5 the same. Then we do what? We change. So we change the division sign to a multiplication sign. And then we flip. Well, first off, we have to make sure it's a fraction to flip it. So 7 over 1. And then we flip. So this becomes 1 over 7. Okay, then we just multiply across. Numerator times numerator. 2 times 1 is 2. 5 times 7 is 35. So let's see if that is correct. That is. Move on to the next one. So looking, 1/3 divided by 8. So we keep the 1/3, change the division sign to a multiplication sign, change the 8 to an 8 over 1, and then we flip. So the 8 and the 1 flip spots, and that becomes 1/8. So now we have 1/3 times 1/8. So let's multiply across, multiply numerator times numerator. 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 8 is 24. So let's see if that is correct. Okay, so that is correct. So I've done 3 cards with you. I'll do one more, and then I'll let you guys go and do it on your own. So we have 2/3 divided by 3. So we have 2/3. We keep the 2/3. Change the multiplication sign, or the division sign to a multiplication sign. Sorry, getting all mixed up now. And then we are going to flip the 3 over 1 and change it to, and flip it to 1 over 3. And now we have 2/3 times 1/3. Don't forget this flipping part. I know after you change it into a fraction, that might seem like a step, but that is only something that you have to do before you actually divide it. So that is not a step, that is just, it is a step. It's an extra step though. Okay, so let's look at it. So 2 times 1 is 2. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 2 9ths. Okay, so I went over 4 questions with you guys. If you need me to go over any more questions with you, please go ahead and get on Google Meet. You can chat with me on GoGuardian, and I can help you through some of them. There are different options, so please reach out if you are not understanding it, or if you just want a little bit more help, or just go through a couple more examples. Remember, keep, change, flip. Okay, don't forget that. And then also, remember, if it's a whole number, what do? You put a 1 in the denominator. You put it over 1. So, like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon.